Welcome to Vancouver Carpenter. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to use a drywall drill properly because I see people doing it improperly a lot. So one of the ways that a lot of people do it is they start, and hang on, quick disclaimer, I'm using 2-inch screws. So this is bound to make me mess up at least once or twice on film because whenever you film something, it makes you mess up. Ask me how I know, or just watch enough of my videos and you'll know. Okay. So how you don't do it, and this took me a while to learn until I watched some pros, but how you don't do it is by just starting slowly, like so, going to the wall and like, okay, that didn't work at all. We also missed our stud. Is this a lamination? 2 layers? The stud, I think, was just to my right. So, but again, how you don't do it is by like starting right here. Yeah, there it was. So that is not how a drywall drill was actually designed to be used. How it's designed to be used is this little button here. So you pull the trigger and then you push that little button and it's going to engage the drywall drill to full speed. Full 4,000 RPMs on this one. Like so. It's then intended to be held like this. So it's pretty straightforward. What you do is get this thing going to full bore and you basically just plunk the screw in. So with 2 inches, again, and probably an awkward angle so that you guys can see what I'm doing, I might mess this one up. But with 1.25 inches, you can really get some speed going on those. Anyways, let's try this. Let's get the 1.25 inch screws. Okay, so that went fantastically well for you guys, not for me. All right, so why did that happen? There's a few reasons. 1, it was the long screw. 2, I wasn't in line. So you kind of want your aim in line with wherever you're shooting. So if you're like going from awkward angles, that's when you're most likely to mess this up because you're not gonna hit it square, especially with 2-inch screws. You really gotta be like, dunk. So I've got some 1.25 inches. We're going to load this corner bead up here. We'll start from right here. All right. So I was about to blame his drill and his bit, but it's brand new, so it's probably me. I'm just rusty. I haven't been hanging a lot of board, and it takes a bit to get used to other people's tools sometimes, but this is actually a good drill. So that's the general idea. If you search up the fastest guns in the West on YouTube, you can see some guys that can literally go there as fast as like an auto feed gun. I'm a little rusty, but that's the general idea of how you screw off drywall. Get that motor engaged and get up kind of nice and close. Keep your screws handy. I usually have about, anywhere from like 5 to 10 screws in my hand. Because any more than that and you start to fumble with the screws and you start dropping them, any less than that and you're always going back to your pouch. But that's the general idea of how to use a drywall screw gun, is keep it nice and close, boonk, put the screw in, boonk, put the screw in. That's it. That's how they work. That's why they're fast. And with practice, you can actually get pretty darn fast. One other thing you guys should know is there's usually a label here. So if I twist it this way, the screw's gonna go deeper. And so let's see how that looks. I cranked it a bunch. That was way too much. You can see it went way too far. Now let's crank it a bunch the other way. 1 extra turn too much. So now, actually that's almost just right. However, it's just the tiniest bit too much out for my liking, because what's going to happen is if you get lazy, some of them are going to be sticking out. But So I would crank this maybe 1 or 2 more. Let's see what it does. That's perfect right there. One last thing. So what you don't want is you don't ever want to be able to hear the screw clicking. So let's see if we can find any. How about down here? I think I see one. No? No? It's done good so far. Should we test the ceiling a little bit? Okay, we got one that's a little too deep, but he put a second one in next to it. That's good. Oh, oh. There it is. So if it does that, you didn't screw it deep enough. Anyways, let's get back to the thing I said like 3 minutes ago before the dude filming told me something smarter to say. Anyways, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. That's how you use a drywall drill. You know, it's not that complicated, but it's also not that simple. It takes a little practice. Till the next one, you guys.